What's next, Skeletor?
Oh, He-Man, how you vex me.
Welcome back to the Tidarium Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the spring Motu announcements. This is the stuff that's coming from Mattel for Masters of the Universe, and I've got to say that I'm not really that excited about it. I pre-ordered 4 of these, but the way they're going about this and all the stuff that's going on right here and what I see in front of me, I actually went to BBTS and I deleted 8. I canceled 8 of my pre-orders for Master Universe, and I only pre-ordered 4 of these. I probably will cancel 2 of those because, well, I'm not as excited about this as I should be. We're just retreading the same old ground over and over and over and over, and I understand what's going on here, but I'm going to go through each one of these. I'm going to share my opinion, but at the end I'm going to tell you what really bothers me the most about what Mattel's doing right now. But we're going to talk about this. I am excited about a few of these figures, but I'll tell you which ones coming up. First of all, before we get into looking at all of them individually, I don't have a individual picture for the Lord Grasp, the bottom 4 or 5. Lord Grasp, the Terror, Stranger Things Skeletor and Demogorgon, and the Necroconda. Now, so those bottom 5 I don't have separate pictures for, so I'm going to talk about them and lump them in one group. I think they all look cool, and I will definitely pick one of each of those up, just because they look so cool and they're so different. And I'm okay with that. I am cool with that. It's interesting, it's different, unless the price is just outrageous. But I think that this kind of stuff is interesting. I don't think this should be all that they make, but if they make this in addition to the rest of what's going on, that is pretty cool. So I will give them props for that. I don't see that these are up for pre-order anywhere just yet, but maybe I missed that point. Launching this off, we're getting the Filmation, they call it the cartoon style versions of Origins. Now they do have new bodies, new bucks. There's going to be some differences, and until I get it in hand and kind of see the differences, I don't know exactly. I know the legs look way different, but I think he looks pretty good. And I think that leaving behind kind of the old toy look and going to the Filmation is awesome, and I'm okay with that. And to rehash characters in Filmation, that makes sense. I'm okay with it. And again, I didn't pre-order him because I think there's going to be a ton of them. Same thing with Skeletor. I think he looks cool. I think he looks really good in the Filmation design. And to have this as an option with your Origins or your Vintage looks really good. It's cool. I think this is better than what Super 7 did. So this is the same sort of thing Super 7 did, but Super 7 still kind of kept the original style buck with a squatty pose, less articulation in the elbows and knees and stuff. So this is going to give you all that upgraded articulation and a modern aesthetic, and I'm okay with it. It's cool. But again, I didn't pre-order it because I think they're going to be in abundance at retail, and all this stuff should be at retail. I don't know what those weird things are. This looks like face masks or something that he was holding in one of the pictures. So now we get into Beastman, and I really like the way this Beastman looks. This is really cool. Looks like Filmation. This is kind of where I get into my problems with the Masterverse. Their Masterverse figure, Beastman, should have looked like this, but it didn't. And I would have loved a Masterverse, or I went ahead and spent like $100 to buy one that was a Classics that looked like this. And so with that, I think this is great. I think this is fine. Still didn't pre-order it because I expect to see it a lot cheaper at retail. Here's the other weird thing. The only reason I even collect these is because they were $15 and that was good value. Now having to pay $20 each is a struggle, but I will get into that down the road. A lot of this first wave stuff usually goes on clearance down the road, but we'll see how this goes. We'll see. This will be an interesting, fun era to get into. Now, Man-at-Arms, and he looks good. He's got this extra little piece here. He does have his baton, or whatever his staff is. That's also a part that he has. But I think he looks really good. Very Filmation. I like that head sculpt. I like everything about it. I think it looks great. Still didn't pre-order it because I believe it will be one of those things that a year and a half down the road, they'll be $4 at Walmart or Target or something. I really like the way this looks. This trap jaw is on point. This is another one that I chased down it's the Classics version, but it was a Super 7 version that looked like this. And I'm so glad I did it. I think I paid $50 for that one. And this is really cool to get this. And I am glad they're making this versus, say, just remaking the toy version. And this looks fantastic. looks phenomenal. I like how everything does look like the cartoon. And this is almost to where these are going to be a little bit taller. So these are going to stand closer to 6 inches tall. So you could almost make these work in your Masterverse collection or classics. Maybe not Masterverse because those things are pretty darn tall. But yeah, it's come with like an extra accessory there. Now this is where I start getting into some problems. But this is my fault. It's purely my fault. Now I wanted an extra set of these. I gave a set to my son for this wave because he wanted it for whatever reason back when he was collecting it. You got to understand that's years ago, a couple years ago. And I bought an extra set for like 120 bucks on the secondary market so that I can keep one in the package. And now they're just going to reissue it. So that bothers me because now as a collector, I don't feel like I ever will buy anything on the secondary market again because they're just going to reissue absolutely everything multiple times. This is now the second time they've reissued this. So that's a frustrating factor. This will be in stores. And so when you go from something like this that is sort of semi sought after, it's not heavily sought after, it's sort of semi sought after, it's going to clog pegs. This will clog pegs in the store because of the fact that the 3,000 people that want one can't sustain a 30 or 80 or 100,000 production run, but they're going to do it anyway. So there it goes. Same thing with Zodak here, and I think he's pretty cool, good figure and all that, but do we need it at retail again? No, we don't. But it's going to be at retail again. This is what I'm hearing from sources online, other people talking about it, that are quote-unquote friends of Mattel. I don't think I'll ever be a friend of Mattel. But they're saying that this is going to be available at retail, in the Walmarts, in the Targets and stuff, not just online only, which this should be an online-only thing. But they're reissuing it again. So if I were to have paid I only paid like 30 bucks. So that was double the price, but now it's only $10 more than what the current actual price is. And then of course the Merman here, which they're great figures and it's good to bring them back out. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's great for other people, but just move on. You're moving on to the Filmation. They should just move on. But okay, here it is. Let's get past all of that and into the Masterverse. Now, is it this is Sorcerer's Tila, and that's okay. It's cool. I didn't pre-order. I might pick her up, see her on sale or something. And people that are super into this might really love this. And they might be all over getting Sorcerer's Tila, and I could see some of these channels would be getting it and paying extra to get it early and all that. But I will be waiting for this to go on super ultra clearance or just pass on her. But I think she looks pretty good, and I like the regular Sorceress that we got. I thought that was a pretty good figure. And then this one is the Skeletor, and this is the Revolution Skeletor. Is that what they call it? Kind of doing all this from memory, but Revolution Skeletor. Now, I'm not excited about really anything that is specific to the show. The new show that's out, the Revelation, the Revolution, or whatever they're calling all that. I don't really care. But on sale, again, like I say, if I see him on clearance, see this guy for like $8 or something, I'll pick him up. Not 23. I think 23 is quite a bit. I think he does look cool, and I'm sure he's going to match the animation almost exactly, which is something that they can do this day and age, and do it with no trouble at all, which is the animation matching the figure that they made. What came first, the chicken or the egg, or the animation, or this guy? I don't know. That would be interesting information to find out. Maybe one of those friends of Mattel would tell us, or find that information out for us. Now we get into this new attorney, a Trapjaw. And I gotta say that I feel like a chump. Seriously, I got bamboozled. I bought the first Trapjaw. Nobody liked that head. I still don't like that head. I put an actual vintage figure head. I found one in a bottom of a drawer at Toy Base 10. But this is a whole different ball game. So first of all, you're forced to buy, well, you're not forced to buy anything, but they put it out and you think, well, if I don't buy Trapjaw now, I'll never have another Trapjaw. Now we have another Trapjaw. And I don't really know between the two of them which one I like better or worse. This head sculpt looks a little bit better. But this one's probably going to be in a more condensed packaging, not 13 inches long. And this one does look interesting. There's some good points to it. But is it still the same buck? Until I have them side by side, I really don't know. And this is frustrating. So we're buying it over again. You've rebooted the other line. You're not rebooting Masterverse. You're not rebooting Masterverse at all. So why are we getting them all over again? Same old figures over again. Why? Well, the reason that they're doing this is because they know the deeper they get into Motu, the less it sells. So let's get the big hitters back out. But what they're going to find is even the big hitters aren't going to sell when you just keep remaking the same ones. Oh, speaking of remaking the same ones, here's another Man-at-Arms. And I think this is a massive step down. A massive step down from what they put out the first time. The first one looks good. In fact, the first one I went on record saying, I think it looks better than Classics because I have Classics. I have both. And I think that the first version is better. This is a huge step down, and to still be like a $23 figure, this is one I don't even know if I see it for $8 I'd want to pick it up. I don't even know if I'd pick it up for $8. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe, but I don't like that green that they used. And I really just don't like the whole style of it. Anything about it, really. So there's really no redeeming quality. Maybe the extra head sculpt. I don't know. So this is a huge, huge pass for me, and it's really irritating seeing them rehash these same characters over and over when there's so many more that they could be doing. Then we got the Battle Armor He-Man, and I would say it's good to have a He-Man hanging on the shelves, which there is. There's the 40th anniversary hanging at a Walmart, and then there's a Battle Armor He-Man right now at my Target. But to have another Battle Armor He-Man right now, that while there's other ones hanging on the shelves, makes no sense. This really, I don't understand it. I don't get it. But I do like the fact that you can make it a standard He-Man, sort of ish, kind of, or a Battle Armor He-Man, sort of ish, kind of. So that's okay. That's cool. Huge pass for me though. Now we're getting into, this is what I look at this and I see what they put out as the Mattel Creations mini comic Trapjaw. Not Trapjaw. Said it wrong. Triclops. By the way, for the longest time I was looking up Triclops and spelling it wrong. That's not going to go well. Anyhow, I liked the first version they put out, and I'm happy with it. And then I feel like this is like the mini comic version. But they call it a new Eternia or whatever they want to call it, and that's cool. But it's another one that I don't really need, and I would pick it up on a clearance sale, an ultra clearance sale, which I'm anticipating. Buying most of my stuff on clearance here. And he looks okay. But is this going to be one of those things where people are only buying it because they missed out on the first go-around of Triclops? I keep calling Trapjaw Triclops. And the thing about that is that, are they going to reissue the Triclops that went with the Origins? Because they're reissuing everything else, right? I don't know. But I think this is going to be a lot of the people that feel like they missed out on the first one that looks better and are just going to go for this. But where's all the other characters? Why don't we go a little bit deeper, bring out some more characters, and bring out like a classic Beastman or something along those lines? And by the way, if enough people really want me to make a video of what I think they should make at this point, like where we've come from and where we should go, I think that would be a great video to make down the road, probably in a week or two. So let me know if you think that would make a great video. Okay, so this is the Masterverse Evelyn, and I'm going to tell you that I've developed a huge appreciation for the live-action movie figures. Partially because I had some already, and then I got to see that the Masterverse is doing better in some cases than what we saw in the past. So I'm really appreciative of them making these. And I didn't even... I don't like that movie. I don't think it's a great movie. But I watched it again and had fun watching it. I don't think it's a great movie, but I had fun watching it. And I guess maybe it just brought back memories from back in the day. But this looks really good. I like the way this looks. This looks fantastic. I think they did a good job with her. And getting into the packaging. Now, this is what the packaging looks like. So anytime I see anything that says that it's the new Eternia or something along those lines, I kind of assume it's going to look packaging similar to this. And so with that, I appreciate at least the fact that they're condensed down and they're not giant 13-inch long packaging for the figures, and that it has something on it other than just plain boring packaging like they started with Masterverse. So that is really cool looking. I like the way this looks. Now we get into kind of a love-hate situation here. I have been fighting the urge to buy one of these guys. No, not Orko again. The Gwildor. I don't have any representation of Gwildor at all. And I keep passing on buying a vintage Gwildor because to get a complete one, people want like $50, which I think is stupid. And then I don't think it's worth that at all. And then people are wanting upwards of $50 to $100, depending on what all is with it for the Classics one. So this is definitely a good buy, but then you're forced to buy Orko again. I really feel like Orko is one of those that you are forced to buy this useless He-Man that just had nothing with it. Just kind of a worthless He-Man. I forgot what they even call that one. I have it reluctantly, but now you're forced to buy Orko to get a Gwildor. I don't think that's a good move, but they're forcing it on you. You have to do it. I guess you don't get a choice. And with that, I guess I'll just live with it. Now, is this like a movie, Orko? I guess I gotta watch the movie again to see. But still, I would like to have a Gwildor. Now, what bothers me the most is the fact that I was present to order this Coldar. Now, I was about 20 minutes late getting to it. And by the time I had my information in there and jumped through the hoops to order him, by the time I checked out, they were sold out. And so I said, okay, maybe they'll reissue it like they did with the Wondar and some of these other ones. But they never did. And it's a figure I would like. But I'm not paying $80 or whatever they're asking on eBay. I don't really care that much. I mean, I care a little bit. I care enough to order it for the $17, or now it's 20, I guess. But I don't care enough to pay 80. And it starts to make me frustrated with the whole line. And really, you've turned someone who orders 3 of everything into one. I buy 1 of 6 now. So there's 6 different releases, and I'm going to buy 1 of 1 figure instead of buying 3 of every single release. And that's what they've done. And now, with not being able to really be a completist, there's absolutely no reason for me to even consider slightly being a completist. I'm going to be a 1 figure out of 6 releases kind of collector from now on. So anyway, if you're super deep into Motu and you love every one of these releases, then that's awesome. Enjoy it. Definitely don't let me, in my frustration with what they're doing here, bother you. Oh, by the way, there's another Tila coming, I guess. I didn't have a picture of her for some reason. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and Titanium Hanger out.
So, my unwitting servant, perhaps what you'll need is a little more power.